You know what the worst part of failing isn't? It's not the moment you see the results. It's not the rank that's thousands of numbers away from what you needed. The worst part is the morning after. You wake up and you forget everything till 3 seconds. Then the memory drops onto your chest like a 100-kilo weight. Suddenly, the syllabus you spent for 2 years doesn't matter. The late nights in a small room, the sacrifices you made, the festivals you missed, it all feels like a massive, cruel joke. In psychology, there's a term called existential vacuum. It's a state of complete apathy, emptiness. It's the feeling that your compass is broken and there's no map. You don't just feel sad, you feel like you lost the plot of your life. If you are watching this right now, chances are you are sitting in a vacuum. Maybe you are a student from a small town preparing for UPSC, NEET, JEE, or any other competitive national exams. And you missed, not by a fraction, but by a lot. And it's unfixable. You can't rewind the clock. Most motivation videos you'll see will tell you to bounce back. They'll tell you to tear this piece of paper and resume studying 16 hours a day. I'm not going to tell you that because right now that feels like a lie. Today, we are not going to talk about how to wire your brain for success. We are going to talk about something harder and much more beautiful. We are going to talk about how to find meaning in your absolute dark failure. To understand this, I need to tell you about a man known as Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was an Austrian psychologist. In 1942, his entire life was destroyed. He, along with his family, was sent to a Nazi concentration camp. He lost everything. He lost his wife, his children, his dignity, and most importantly, his freedom. Every single day was a horrific lottery of survival. In a place like that, you would expect the strongest and the most physically fit to survive. But Frankl noticed something else. The people who survived weren't the strongest ones. They were the ones who had a why. Frankl survived the unimaginable, cruel camps and later wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. In it, he laid the foundation of a psychological concept called logotherapy. The core idea of logotherapy is simple but earth-shattering. He realized that human beings are not primarily driven by the pursuit of pleasure or the pursuit of power, but they are driven by the pursuit of meaning. And here is the absolute most important thing Frankl discovered. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we possess an ultimate human tool, that is our attitude towards it. They could take Frankl's clothes, wife, food, family, wealth, everything, but they couldn't take the attitude of how he responds to the suffering. Right now, you feel like a victim of your circumstances. You feel like the paper, the exam, the system defeated you, and maybe they did. You cannot control the cutoff list. You cannot control the lakhs of students fighting for a few hundred seats. But the reaction to this failure is your ultimate territory. This is where the real freedom lies. Frankl talked about something known as attitudinal value. Value isn't just created when you get a gold medal, an admission ticket, or any high-order achievement. Attitudinal value is the profound dignity and courage you show when you are faced with a difficult situation you cannot change. It's easy to be a nice person when everything is going in your way. It's incredibly difficult to stare at a shattered dream and say, "It hurts me deeply, but It will not destroy my character. Let me be very real with you. The society we live in, especially here in India, equates your worth with your academic achievement. We put a terrifying amount of pressure on young shoulders. If you pass, you are a genius. If you fail, you are a disappointment. But this is a flawed metric of human life. Success is external. Meaning is internal. When you fail, you are handed a blank page. The story you thought you were writing just ended abruptly. The external vacuum wants you to leave this blank page. It wants you to give up. It wants you to become bitter. It wants you to be envious of your friends who passed. Finding meaning means picking up the pen anyway. It means saying, I failed this exam, but I will not fail myself. I will use this pain to become more empathetic. I will use this humiliation to become more resilient. I will use this detour to find a path that belongs to me. I told you, I'm not going to tear this up. Tearing this up pretends it never happened. It's like erasing the past. But the past belongs to you. Do not throw your failures away. Keep them, because this piece of paper represents something incredibly brave. It represents the fact that you dared to step into the arena. You tried for something difficult. Most people live their entire lives being too afraid to take the test. You took it, you fought for it. But do not unpack and live in the valley of failure. I'll leave you with this. The world will judge you with your results, but you will judge yourself with your response. You cannot change the day, but you have the absolute power to change who you become because of it.